Hey guys, this will be a video in a series of videos where I go from a total noob in OpenGL and like low-level C++ programming into making a chess game. Now, these videos will be kind of short, so they'll be easily digestible. And yeah, so in this video we'll be going over setting up the environment and the build pipeline. And if you're not familiar with C++ or the low-level aspects of it or OpenGL, that's okay. I'm going to be like explaining stuff as I go along. So with that introduction out of the way, let's do that. So first, I like to make a directory, and we'll just call it chess game. And now I like to do git init, like before I start anything, so that I have a git repository. I push it real quickly. I like backing up my work, commit by commit. And if you're not familiar with Git or source control in general, it's fine. I'll be going over it as I go along. So maybe you'll learn more than C and C++. So first thing I do is I make sure everything's working nicely. So what I do is I make a nice source folder, a build folder. And now I'm going to do something and it might look kind of weird, but basically what this does is it ignores this build folder from going outside when I push it. So when other people look at the repository, they don't see this junk. Okay, so now to make sure everything's working, I'm going to make a simple main, and this is just to make sure it's all working and blah 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 blah. So just gonna make a simple hello world. Now, what I'm gonna do right now is prepare the build pipeline. So if you're not familiar with how you build on C++, or if you've only built C++ on like Visual Studio and like these like big IDEs, how I like to build them is I use the make system. Now the make system is where you write a make file and then like you basically give instructions on, hey, how should this be built? How do you build this software? But writing is kind of tedious, especially when you want to make it like cross-platform, when you want to make it build on Windows and Linux and everything. So what I do is I use a thing called CMake, which is a cross-platform open source make system. And what this does is it generates a make file. Like it writes it for you, but you have to give it some basic instructions beforehand. So let's make one. So to tell CMake how to generate your file, you make a file called cmakelists.txt, and basically tell it the project name, not like that. Project, we'll call it chess game, and we'll say we want to add executable chess game. This is the name of your like the name of the executable, like what is the program that it's going to make that other people will use. And we'll say you need this main file to make it. Now here you're going to list everything you require, and there's actually one more thing we need where we specify the minimum version, but we will go over like enriching this file as we make this project more complex. So to make sure everything's working, we'll do this, and this generates the make file like according to your environment and everything, and then we can just run make. So how make works is it looks for the make file in the directory that it's in. So if I run make in chess game build, it's going to find the make file in chess game build and then run it. This is what the make file looks like. If you're curious, you can see it's very tedious and weird looking, so that's why I don't like to use it. But now since I ran make, I have the chess game executable we talked about, and now when I do chess game, it works. So now we have, you know, the build pipeline, we have a directory for it, and let's push this somewhere. So we'll say git status. So we see where we're at, and we see we have a git ignore file, the one we wrote earlier. We have some files in source, which is the main file, and we have our CMake lists. So we're just gonna do git commit. We're gonna say initial, and that's kind of embarrassing, but that's fine. So here we just need to specify the email that we want to sign our commits with, and our name. So say this, and now we can commit. So now we have an initial commit for our Git repository, and we'll push it right now. So what I'm going to do is launch Firefox. I'm going to head to GitHub, where I have my repo, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new repository. So to do that, we're going to head to repositories. We're going to hit new. We're going to call it chess game. It's going to be public, so if you want to see it at any time, that's okay. We'll quickly grab this SSH remote link, and then now when we do git push, git remotes, set origin into this. Oops, I did not copy it. That's fine. Jesus Christ. It's add. Okay, and now when we do git push, it's going to say set the upstream, and that's what we're going to do. And now when this command runs successfully and we go ahead and open Firefox again, so let's do that. We'll head to GitHub, my name, and then chess game, and we see that our files are up, and now you have a nice little Git repository. You can open this link at any time to see the progress, and yeah.